What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast, episode 38. And in this week's episode, we're going to get into some cigar talk and a little bit of everything else. Any athletes prepared for us for 38?
Yeah, I was saying before we get into it, might be kind of excited about this one.
Yeah.
So 38, not a big number, but we got Kwame Brown. Detroit, when he was with Detroit Pistons. When he was with Detroit, he wore 38. or Kurt Schilling, 3-time World Series champion, Red Sox, Arizona Diamondbacks. So you got those two choices.
I got baseball
Hall of Famer
or Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons, Kwame Brown.
This is tough.
But Kwame Brown, he's been doing his thing lately. He's been out there again.
It ain't got nothing to do with Kwame himself. I like Kwame. For those that don't like him, I like him. It's the Detroit part. Let's be clear. It's the Detroit Pistons part. Not the city of Detroit.
He wore 38.
Let's go with baseball, man. So it's the Schillings episode. Yeah, man.
Kurt Schillings. Hey, man, World Series, man. He got 3 of them, so give him the nod.
Man, you know what? Baseball stinks, man. We going back to Kwame Brown. It's the Kwame Brown episode, man. This is the Kwame Brown episode. It is what it is, man. I take Kwame even in Detroit over baseball. It's the Kwame Brown episode.
So your disdain for Detroit and baseball.
I had to weigh him. And if I'm being fully honest and transparent, I never had a problem with Detroit. It's your love for the Detroit Pistons that annoyed me to the point of not really being able to co-sign them. If you weren't my friend, I wouldn't have an issue with them at all. Like they would just be, I'd be down with them, man.
So I'm a bad brand ambassador, pretty much. I turned you against.
Yes, you turned me against the brand. Like Isaiah Thomas might have been my favorite point guard once upon a time, but you took that from me, and now I can't even. Every once in a while, I see you something from Zeke, and you be like thinking I'm sending it because you like him, but secretly I like him, and I just, that's why I looked at it. But you take it away from me where I can't fully enjoy him like I want. Like
spoil the fun for you for the legends, huh?
You did. You really did. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get into the banter about the Pistons and stuff, and I know this stuff about the Pistons not because I'm opposing you, because I liked them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You liked them once upon a time. You couldn't hate on the bad boy Pistons back then.
I like the bad boys. Like, if we being clear, I've never confessed this to you, so I'm confessing it on the show. I like the bad boys, but you took that away from me, man. So if it seemed like I don't like them, it's your fault. Like.
It's all over me. I take it. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. So bad boys, Pistons. Jared does not hate y'all.
I don't hate y'all. But Denzel has been to you what Cowboy fans are to everybody else. That's what he was for me. Like, he repped y'all with the same badge to the point where I want to like your team, but you waving your flag too hard.
You're making me want to hate y'all now.
Yeah, my
bad.
I'm love the Cowboy franchise. It's the fans. It ain't the franchise.
It's the fans that make you hate them. Yeah. How do you not? You know what I'm saying? Reverence the bad boy Pistons, man. That was a classic team in the 80s and 90s.
Unless you're from Boston, you should love them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or Chicago.
Yeah, that's about Chicago. It. You know what I'm saying? But even Chicago, it's just a certain window of time that you hated them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you still had to give us the nod.
Yeah.
But it's my fault, man. My fault. I rep my teams, man. I rep my teams. And sometimes when you rep your team, you're just a little annoying with it. I can't help it.
There you go. Hey, look, man. Let's get into the stars of the show, man. Okay, fair enough. Hold on. Let's introduce this. I'm Jared. That's Denzel, the co-host, in case you didn't figure that out. Hey, man, and the cigars of this week, I'm going to go ahead and go first. Hey, I got some good information on my cigar, too, matter of fact.
Okay. Yeah.
I got an AJ Fernandez New World. We're gonna go for it again. And can I get it this time? Almost. So anyway, AJ Fernandez New World Dorado is what I got with the goldish bronze colored wrapper on this right here. Band on it, I'm sorry. But when I was trying to get some show prep information, I got some real cool details. So let's go with this right here real quick on this. So this is an article from cigarfishionado.com, and this was back in July of this year. They were announcing that the New World Dorado was about to drop. And this particular cigar line, it says it consists primarily of tobacco from the Dorado farm in Esteli, Nicaragua. Now, according to AJ Fernandez, the soil on that farm has a golden hue to it, which is unusual for most dirt in Esteli, and it tends to be like an ashen shade or dark gray. So this golden appearance is what inspired the name, because Dorado means golden in Spanish. And also, they've only been dealing with the Dorado farm for about 5 years, so they're fairly new to dealing with this. So a lot of their cigars don't have this. So this is going to make a cool little release. And, everything's Nicaraguan through and through, pretty much, man. So there's some interesting details, man, that I had never heard before, man. Golden soil sounds amazing. I'm about to smoke tobacco and soil
from some golden soil. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
I feel like doggone Charlie Bucket. You know what I'm saying? Is that my man name from Willy Wonka? Charlie Bucket with the golden ticket?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, man. I feel like Charlie Bucket out this time, man. I got a golden ticket in my hand, and I'm about to burn it down. Yeah, man. Anyway, man, I'm hype about that. So what you got this week?
All right, man. Hey, before I go into mine, we're kind of on the same wavelength, man. AJ Fernandez, let me put it out there from my standpoint, one of the most respected names in the cigar line. Me personally, I feel like I don't show it enough love, but that's one of those names I see in a cigar that's built by AJ Fernandez is usually a top-notch quality cigar. It's one of those quality names that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion.
Yeah. Shout out to AJ Fernandez.
With that said, smoking an aging room.
There you go.
And if you don't know, aging room is made by AJ Fernandez. So it's a Rafael Nadal construction, but crafted by AJ Fernandez, aging room. So I'm smoking the Quattro Maestro, however you want to say it. Nicaraguan through and through. So the binder, filler, all that stuff is just Nicaraguan all the way around. One of those AJ Fernandez quality cigars. Like you said, yours is pretty much Nicaraguan through and through, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's how they do them, Nicaraguan. So aging room Quattro, Nicaragua, Maestro, aging room.
Hey, you know what's funny, man? I notice black people can't say Nicaragua. We all mess it up.
We do. We just roll with it though. Nicaragua. I'm gonna go with that.
And most of us be like Nicaragua. Like we just can't get it out. It's that urge to say that to be coming through, man. Like we just can't.
Hey, look, it's a hesitation for me every single time. It's a hesitation for me every single time.
Yeah, you ain't the first person, man. I'd never heard none of us get it right, but so be it, man. So look, I'm pairing mine today, man. I had a game time decision when I was pairing it with, right? We were a little late getting to the show, and I was making up my mind, like, what do I feel like? Because I thought all the way up into the build-up of the show that I was going to have some type of alcoholic beverage to go with my drink, to go pair with my smoke. We were about 5 minutes away before I was giving up on actually doing this week's show, and it came through when we were going to do the show, and I started getting tired at that point. So I was like, dang, I need to make some coffee. So as I'm figuring out what am I going to do, I'm like, man, how do I combine the best of both worlds? Instead of me having a bottle of water, because I always keep a bottle of water because we do a lot of talking, and having a cup of coffee and some liquor somewhere on the side, I was like, man, let's bring this together. So I'm like, I feel like rum this week. What rum goes with coffee? I look up a recipe, and I got a spiced rum coffee cocktail that I came up with. And this thing is hitting. It is hitting. I wish I'd have found it early in life.
Coffee cocktail. I've never heard of rum being splashed in coffee. A spice rum.
Spice rum in there.
But it makes sense, and
all you need is a little cinnamon, some nutmeg, a little bit of simple syrup, and whatever type of creamer you're gonna put in it. But they,
okay. So you on your mixology for real today?
Little milk or something, whatever. I use a little.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. You blend those up. Perfection. So I'm hoping this goes well with what I'm smoking, because I'm loving my drink right now.
Nice. Well, I'm not as complicated as yours. I'm just pairing mine with a De Leon tequila, reposado, splash of lime juice, and then a splash of some sparkling water to kind of give a little spritz. I like a little spritz on top of it. So a little splash of that sparkling water just to, bring a little fizz to it.
Yeah.
Treat my cigar with cedar spill. I'm gonna be struggling today again.
I'm with you.
Confession again. Still have not put butane in my lighter yet, so you're gonna hear some clicking until I get some until I get a spark to get my cedar spill lit. Man. So that's where we at today.
You gonna have to.
Hey, you got a price point on your on your cigar?
I do. Because I just took it out of the packaging, so the packaging is sitting over here beside me. Just went with a punch. And I probably should punch on camera for those who might be newbies who want to know, but so be it. I didn't. This is all you do. For those that don't know, you find you a spot in the center, you push, twist, pull out, man. Just don't go too deep. Don't go too shallow. Price point on my New World is $13.65 each. And that's as long as, my location is treating me fairly. That's the price point.
Well, all right, my price point, I'm at about a $12 cigar today. $12. I can't remember how much I picked it up for exactly, but I believe it was around 12. Looking at Cigar Aficionado, they got it priced at around $10.95. But I believe I picked it up for about $12 at my cigar spot.
That's that good. Hold on now. You're going to burn my equipment. There we go. That's that good inflation.
Get that flame out.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Location and inflation.
I don't know about you, but the aroma off of this, as I was actually lighting it, I couldn't fully enjoy it because I had to concentrate on that flame, but it was beautiful.
That burning itself, yeah. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out whether my aroma is more the cedar spill or more the cigar. That's what I'm trying to pick up on right now.
Well, I was enjoying the smell of my cigar before it was lit, so I knew it was going to have a nice aroma once I actually got it going.
Yeah. You know what? Crazy thing is, you mentioned that because I was just thinking that not too long ago about cigar sniffing. Cigar sniffing. I've never been a big cigar sniffer, nor a fan of people who sniff cigars. Like if I hand somebody a cigar and they go straight to sniffing, I'm like, dude, what are you doing to the cigar? Why are you sniffing the cigar?
Yeah.
Are you a cigar sniffer?
Only recently. I probably in like the last month or so, I just randomly be sniffing the cigars off camera. Like while we be sitting here preparing for the show, I be. I don't know where it came from, but I've gotten into it just in the last month, probably.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like I've always remember seeing before we got into cigar smoking, that was like a customary thing of people, sniffing cigars. But I really don't see the point of or get anything from sniffing cigars. It's rare. I like the smell of cigars. Love the smell of a humidor for one. But just the nature of picking a cigar up and sniffing it under my nose, like I don't get the mechanics of it. I don't understand why. What does it do for you?
I can only speak for myself, and recently, my enjoyment from it the tobacco, you're not going to pick up none of the things that the flavors you actually taste. You're not going to pick those up when smelling.
Right. Yeah.
But the leaves have their own unique smell to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't range wide. I mean, it's the general smell of tobacco leaves, but they all have subtle differences. Some a little stronger. And it's just the same way you like going to the humidor and smelling all them cigar leaves, man. It's that. I guess. Leaf, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at it this way: wine drinkers, they always they it's part of the tasting and the palate, smelling and the tasting. Like, is that so? Like, when I've just gotten recently back into really making sure that I retrohale, because there was a period of time where I forgot about that. It's all the same. It culminates into the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get that, and I'm big on aroma, but it's more so the aroma from the cigars. The cigar is burning when it's lit, but a pre-lit cigar, a cigar that's not lit, because a lot of times you're not getting that same aroma or scent from a non-lit cigar that you're going to get from a lit cigar. So what it counts the most is that aroma I'm getting when the cigar is lit, more so than when the cigar is not lit. It's like I'm giving myself a preview that's not a true to life preview. A lot of times you'll smell a cigar and it'll smell really sweet, but then you smoke it and it might have a bitter aroma, and that sweetness is out the window. Or you might have something that's really cedar before light, and then after you light it, it's really spicy. You get a spicy.
I agree with that, but why not take in the totality of what the cigar is made up of? Like that's the outer wrapper. Let me see what this smells like. Then I'm gonna taste, what it tastes like all together. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it may be one layer, or it may be deceiving, and maybe not even be a layer that you pick up on in taste. But it's just, I think it's just taking in the full enjoyment of the construction of a stick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't have no good defense for it. Yeah, I think it looks silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do it. That's why you don't see me get on camera and be like, I don't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? I do it in private.
Call me a grouch or whatever, but it's a pet peeve of mine. Like, especially if I hand somebody a cigar who's a new cigar smoker, and the first thing I see is them put it right under their nose, and it's like, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Just clip it and light it.
It may serve no purpose. You know what I'm saying? But I've recently started back going.
Maybe I'm just a grouch.
Maybe you are. Or maybe you're missing out on something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't love your sticks enough.
maybe I'm not appreciating them enough. Not completely, right? I'm just here for I'm here for the game time show, right?
That's it. You don't see the wine connoisseurs, they don't just take it and take a shot of wine. You know what I'm saying? They
fully take it in.
That is delicious. Yeah. Look at the rim of the glass, how it drips down the rim of the glass. They ain't just nerds about it. They nerd out on it, man. Sniff your cigars, man. Shoot.
Sniff my cigars. Nerd out with my cigars real quick. Show them some love, man. Sniff them. Every cigar deserves to be sniffed, right?
Yeah, sniff it, man. Don't just burn it down, man.
So disrespectful.
You might as well be a cigarette smoker. Ugh.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm saying
you can't correlate the two. No, let's not do that.
That's what you.
I ain't sucking down my cigars.
Yeah, it might be you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Step on it and crush it out. Which is the lowest thing you can do to your cigar is throw it on the ground and step it, twist it out with your feet. Like,
I seen somebody finish their cigar. It was not even, might have been in the final third, and I saw them crushing in the ashtray one time. Oh, that grind my gears. Man, that grind my gears. I'm like, what are you doing?
Disrespect.
Right, that is not a cigar. That is not a cigar, but that is the final third of your cigar. What are you doing?
Right. That was about to transition into a whole new stick. You didn't even give it a shot.
Yeah. But that comes with time. That comes with the understanding, the process. You know, I saw you post your cigar last week. I guess you were finishing smoking up. Got down to close to the nub. When you get to that nub, that becomes like you said, the cigar becomes brand new. cigar becomes a new cigar. Essentially, you get some new different nuances that weren't there in that first and second, and then boom, you get something beautiful at the end. I love a cigar that finishes like that.
Yeah. Shoot. Here you go, right here on my ashtray. The nub. I let it live. We don't kill them off. You know what I'm saying? Let it die a beautiful death.
There you go. Love your cigars, man. All the way to the end.
Hey, this particular New World Dorado, very smooth so far. My initial thoughts, like I said, I'm loving the aroma coming off of it. I am picking up on a little bit of cedar. I am picking up on some pepper. A little bit of a cinnamon to it, which goes well with what I'm drinking. And
okay,
it's a subtle sweetness to it too. You know what I'm saying? But it's nice so far. You know what I'm saying? Even the pepper is not it's not overwhelming. It's cool. I'm with this.
Yeah, I'm about the same way with the my first light. A little bit of pepper at the top. I was nervous for a second. I thought it was gonna be a peppery cigar, but that pepper was just in the first little couple puffs of the burn, and then kind of faded to the back a little bit already, like off rip. I'm getting more wood, a little bit of toasted almond, which is something I was not expecting. Was not expecting that. I don't get that too much, but I guess that might be an Asian room or AJ Fernandez type of thing, because of that it's like it's this toasted almond feel that I never really noticed, and it's kind of an aroma too, light aroma, but thick, heavy smoke so far.
Right.
So I'm liking the balance there.
Definitely. I think we off to a good start. You should be better this week than last week.
Already. I was thinking that too. Like, man, this is a step up from last week. already, and we just getting going. I mean, and that's crazy too, like how you can notice the difference in a cigar. It's like, man, this is home. This is where I need to be. This is where I should be after you come off of a bad smoke. You get into that redeemed smoke, it's like, man, automatically. And that second guessing that I had last week about, man, what is wrong? It's like, is my palate where it should be? Yeah. But then when you get to something that feels like home and feels right for you, like, nah, I wasn't off of my palate. It was the smoke. Either a bad cigar or bad upkeep or just bad construction, not for me. You know, you get to a good, solid quality cigar and you're like, man, I'm back.
Yeah. And you know, it makes me wonder. I wonder what the rating is on the cigar that you have. Did you by chance check that? Or
ooh, let me take a look. No, I haven't checked it. Let me take a look. Oh, and by the way, it's a box press cigar too. Even more home.
Yeah.
No, that's
a box press too. I didn't even pay no attention to it. But yeah, we both have box press in.
Oh man, look at this. Okay, so I'm picking up this article by Cigar Place. 2019 #1 cigar of the year.
Ooh. So there you go.
All right. I'm glad I didn't diss this one off the top.
Yeah.
Aficionados would have been questioning me. But let me see. I didn't get a rating though. Let's see if I can find a rating. Go ahead.
For me, mine is I just did a quick Google search. I'm just seeing the first thing that came up. But Cigars International has it rated 91. And Cigars International's a pretty credible website. Yeah. So shout out to them.
I'm seeing 96 rating. 96. Okay, so I picked up something nice I didn't even know about. Not a bad pickup, especially off a blind pickup. Because we talked about the banner. There was no banner that said it had a high rating, #1, anything. So no banner drew me to the cigar. It was just a pick. Like, I haven't had aging room in a while. Let me go ahead and grab that.
I tell you what I did mess up. I did kind of scan my cigar profile a little bit now while you were speaking. And it's interesting. It said cinnamon and nutmeg is something that you pick up on this cigar. I haven't picked up on the nutmeg, but I have cinnamon and nutmeg in my drink. You know what I'm saying? So that's perfection how that played out. You know what I'm saying? The cigar guys was with me this morning when I was deciding what I was going to drink. Shout out to them.
All right, there you go. That pairing came up perfectly. Hey, so I got a question for you real quick.
Sure.
So Drake has been Drake. He's been taking shots at people in his latest release. I guess he has his joint. I don't know if it's an album with 21 Savage. It just popped up. I was at work yesterday. I'm just seeing a bunch of Drake things.
Yeah, they got an album together.
Yeah. And for one, all these albums just come out of nowhere. You said it was what?
No, I heard it was coming. I didn't know it dropped.
I didn't even hear it was coming.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was coming, but then I heard it dropped, and he's name dropping a lot of people. He talks about Megan Thee Stallion. He mentions Serena Williams' husband. Amongst some others. He's name dropping people. You know what I'm saying? Put them in his bars. You know, he's barring them up.
Anybody tough he name drop?
I can't think of anybody right now. I can't say it for sure. But
I know who he didn't name drop.
Who?
Pusha T. He ain't name drop him.
He want to stay away from that one.
Keeping his distance. He caught them hands last time verbally. He said, "I'm done with that. I'm cool on that one." Shoot.
Nah, leave him out of this. Leave him out of this. But every time I go to my phone, I would see Drake name drop so and so. Drake, this is so and so, and it was like another person, and then their responses. Megan Thee Stallion responds. Serena Williams and her husband responds. I'm like, man, when did putting a person's name in a bar, a rap song, a verse, become this huge offensive thing? Like a name drop. So what? You know what I'm saying?
A lot back in the day. There was whole songs dedicated to doing that. The Game made a career of it.
The Game made a career of it. 50 Cent made a career of it.
Yeah.
You go back in Biggie's time, Tupac. I mean, like, granted, there at some points where
a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like, when did it become such a sensitive thing? Like, oh, don't say my name in a rap song. Don't use my name towards your bar.
Yeah.
That's part of the sport. If you're a public figure, you know what I'm saying, expect for your name to be thrown into a bar, to become a metaphor of some sort.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's so quick to go to Twitter or, you know what I'm saying, make a post or go on the IG Live and complain and cry about Drake putting you in a song. So, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's because people are protected for their brand at this point in time, more so than ever?
That could be it.
Because I haven't heard what was said, but I'm just, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I didn't hear all that what was said. All I would see is Drake, then a name. Drake, then a name. Drake, then a name. And then this person responds. Like, why do they feel like they have to have a response? And I guess that's to that point. Everybody is their own brand ambassador, and they have to protect their brand, especially in the moment when things go so fast. I'm assuming.
Well, here's one other thing: regular people have more access to celebrities than ever. I'm quite sure they're getting asked about it in comments nonstop. You know what I'm saying? I post my children, and you asking me about Drake. Leaving Drake comments in my post. After a while, it's like,
true.
All right, let me address this, man. Good God, y'all keep asking me about how I feel about it or making comments about it. Like, I don't care about it. I don't want to be attached to it. Maybe that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that could be it. That could be it.
But outside of that, yeah, I'm with you. Why would you? Who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I'm a rapper and another rapper put my name in his verse, depending on what he say, he might not get no words. He might not even get no bars out of me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Depending on what he said, he might. You know what I'm saying? But that's still, you address it back in a song and you move on. Like, for me.
And you move on, right. But it's like, it just seems like everybody's just up in arms and crying about it. It's like, man, but it does make sense that back in the day, you didn't have the everyday consumer in your face. You know what I'm saying? You had to deal with paparazzi, but the everyday consumer, being able to reach out and touch you and ask you questions and pester you about something that somebody said in a rap song. Okay, so I guess I can see it that way.
Yeah.
I guess I can see it that way.
And then on top of that,
you have to worry about that
back in the day, all you had to do was if you were promoting something around the time that you were mentioned, you might get asked in a not a newspaper, but a magazine article or something. But then even then, you're doing that in the comfort of a room somewhere, or maybe by phone. You can just tell them we're not discussing that back in the day.
Yeah.
And you could just avoid
this
it,
too.
and they just don't get no attention.
Or this too, the time that it might have taken for Biggie said something about you in a rap song for it to get around to you hearing about it. It might be weeks before you even hear about it. And then by then, it's water under the bridge by the time it gets back to you.
Yeah. Because back then, like Biggie was probably only saying your name in some type of mixtape verse or something anyway back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Escape bitch, like that. That was some old mixtape stuff. That don't make it around the world. Like back in those times, mixtapes was in your hood back in the day. Like,
and it's so easy to catch a soundbite now too. Yeah, so easy to catch a soundbite. Everything's on TikTok. Everything's a soundbite on Instagram or whatever, and it can get back to the person a whole lot faster than it would because you didn't have the soundbites like that back in the day. Wasn't nobody chopping nothing and posting it.
And making skits out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting reposted by other people. So, I guess it's the change of the time. I get that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, depending on what he said, everything don't deserve your attention either. You know what I'm saying? Especially stuff in the song.
It don't deserve your attention.
Somebody was telling me that Steve Harvey responded to something Future said. I said, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, why would you do that? Like, you're Steve Harvey. Like, why does he get your attention? Like, I know Future's big, and I know he was messing with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, so what? Like, and I say daughter like this because she was grown when he married her mama anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not like he raised her from when she was little. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
but at the same time, it's like he still don't deserve like that attention, dude. It's a bar.
He said something, and it ain't like Future spitting heavyweight bars at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm about to bar up and get back at dude. Like, it ain't that type of rap. Whatever he said was probably a sentence that was slurred. You know what I'm saying? And he went on by his business. I don't know. Different world. Man.
I guess it's just the change in the times on top of the increased sensitivity. I think it's a coupling of both. It's just that increased sensitivity, and then things are being thrown in people's face too fast, too soon, too upfront, to where you feel like you got to address everything. Man, everything don't deserve your attention. Everything don't deserve your energy, and that's even in your personal life too, man. Like, I can't stand when somebody says something about somebody, and all of a sudden you feel like you gotta I gotta go. No, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a personal thing too. A regular just lifestyle piece of advice for me. Don't everything deserve your attention.
Not at all. I have sat in a group of people while they talked about me and ignored them in front of the group. Like three women just talking. Like, oh, you ain't gonna say nothing? No, I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm not even paying y'all no attention. Like, I don't care what y'all saying. Like, they don't deserve your attention, especially if you know it's some nonsense. But
true.
You know,
true fact.
Sensitive times, sensitive people. People take pride in sensitivity. You know, everybody's Ralph Tresvant nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Like, bring back that thick skin. Matter of fact, it kind of go along with it. I was watching the interview with Dwight Howard. He was being interviewed by Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp kept trying to mention, Kobe said you were soft. Kobe said you were soft, and it just seemed to bother him so much. Like, just under his skin. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, dude? You had a great career. You know You know what I'm saying? You did win a championship eventually. You made it to the finals in your prime. That you led your team to the finals. You had some snipers on that Magic squad though. But y'all did y'all thing. But it's like, man, dude, are you that like why so sensitive? Why so sensitive? Like you just seem to tear him up. You know what I'm saying? That Kobe had an opinion about him. He's like, hey, everybody's gonna have an opinion about everybody. But you was Dwight Howard, man. You was Superman. You dunk contest, superstar endorsements, all of this, all of that. Why does one man albeit that is Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest of all time, had an opinion about you? Why does that eat you up so bad? You know what I mean? It's like, man, get some thick skin.
Yeah,
I can just see the thin, frail skin of allowing something to get under your skin, like just so prevalent in that interview with him. It's like, man, why does that bother you so bad? And I can't see myself being bothered that much by somebody's opinion, especially that's outside of my family. You know?
well, look at this. That proves Kobe's point. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're insecure enough to not be comfortable in your own skin, that this is who I am. Yes, by your standard of who you were and how you performed, you might view me that way. That's fine, but I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm my own man. I was never gonna be like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fun-loving guy. I like to play. I'm not. Basketball ain't that for me. What it was for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable with that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Comfortable
with
that. Right.
He at a point you have to realize that that's that man's perspective based off of his own code and who he is. You know what I'm saying? I don't live by that code. Therefore, I don't care.
His own code in a small moment of time that y'all played together. You know, does that sum up your whole totality as a man? What? How old is he? Maybe 40 plus now?
Yeah, at least 42. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. He's got to be our age, if not maybe a little bit younger or a little bit older.
Well, he came out of high school, so I'm thinking, yeah, he's somewhere in our age. He might be 40, somewhere around there. But
yeah, but it's like, man, dude, like, man had an opinion about you, and I just saw how just like it physically bothered him watching him. I was like, man. That maybe that's what Kobe Bryant was talking about. He had a point to what he was saying. Dude, get some thick skin.
Yeah. But look at this. Here's something I said last week's episode. Let's bring it back to this week's episode. Context is lost. If Kobe calls you soft, it's within the context of a basketball game. That's what he's talking about. I'm not saying that you won't fight somebody if they went and punched your mama in the face. I'm saying you soft on the court and how you play. Like, and that's his point behind it.
He kept going in the back, man, I was benching 400 and such pounds. I was this and I was that. And, man, look at my body now. Like, whose body is their body like this at this point in their career? And it, like, he was just so on the, you know what I'm saying, backpedaling on the defensive. Like, dude, like, relax. One man's opinion.
And it sounds like his arguments were irrelevant topics. And none of this, I didn't say you was physically soft. I didn't say you was fat and you was out of shape soft. I didn't say that you was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say that you not tough. You know, I didn't say you weren't strong physically, but mentally, I think you soft. You know what I'm saying? You don't play tough. You don't play strong as your body looks. You physically Superman, but mentally you Clark Kent. And he showed it.
And the thing I feel like,
his opinion though, that don't mean it's true either.
Yeah, if you disagree with somebody's opinion, just let the work speak for itself. All right. Well, you said I don't bang hard in the paint. Watch this. Simple as that. Oh, you said my work ethic is that. Okay. Watch this. Oh, you said my mentality is this. I don't have thick. Okay. Watch this. It doesn't deserve a response. It doesn't deserve a defensive stance. Just show me opposite, or just do what you feel like what is right for you, and this is how I present myself and what I'm doing. Watch this. Simple as that. And if you disagree with how I'm going about it, you disagree with how I'm going about it. I mean, like, not saying you don't take inventory and take people's perspective into account, because sometimes people can't be holding up a mirror to you to show you what your weaknesses or flaws are. You take that into in consideration and you do inventory, but don't sit there and cry about it. If you find any validity in what somebody's saying, okay, let me go back to the drawing board. Now watch this. Simple as that. Like I think that idea and that approach, especially in the manhood, is kind of lost.
Yeah, but that requires self-awareness is what you're saying also, to be able to really assess yourself unbiasedly, because you're assessing yourself to yourself, within yourself, and be comfortable and secure enough to say, okay, that part is true. I see that in myself. And this part, maybe not so much. Maybe they have a wrong opinion of me, but he's on to something here, and I can be honest with myself about it. And the way that you took that and viewed what Kobe said is in all likelihood what Kobe wanted from the man. I'm calling you soft because I'm trying to push you to prove to me that you're not, because I think that you can be more than what you're showing me. That's all he was doing. I know that trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, you soft. No, I ain't. Watch this. That's all Kobe wanted. so you go, no, I ain't. Watch this. Because he wants Shaq out of it. He wants you to be Shaq 2.0, but you wouldn't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he misinterpreted it.
Instead of that, you get mad and start pouting about it. Come on, man.
Kobe just wanted you to prove it to him.
260-something pounds and you pouting. Really?
He just wanted you to prove it, bro.
What are we doing?
He missed the point. He missed the point of it. You know what I'm saying? That's elementary tricks, mind games. You know what I'm saying? Reverse psychology. You can't do this. Who can't do it? Watch this. Good. I wanted to see you do it. I thought you could do it, but you just weren't doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, you failed the mission.
Failed the mission.
You failed the mission. Oh man. Where you at with your cigar, man? What we looking like?
For me, I am picking up on some of those same cinnamon notes. The pepper has kind of died down. It's a little bit of subtle leather to it. The subtle sweetness is still there also. A little bit of nuttiness, and those would kind of be the main things that I'm picking on a medium body smoke.
Okay. Man, all right. So where I'm at with mine right now, pepper died out, and I'm real smooth right now. Real smooth.
Yeah.
On the secondary aroma, like as my cigar is burning and I'm getting that smoke back, not off the puff, but just off the cigar burning, I'm getting a little bit of cocoa off the burn, like off just the cigar burning. Not necessarily during the puff, but just as I'm inhaling, you know what I'm saying, the smoke around me.
Right.
That's something that's rare. I never gotten like a cocoa smell just off the cigar burning. Usually I'll get that on the puff. Now it's just the cigar just burns. That's been pleasant. Some wood is kicking in as I'm getting to that second third. I'm in the second third now, actually. I had a nice little ash, man. My ash was about maybe an inch before I tapped it off. It could have kept going, but I had about an inch of ash. I should have showed it before I tapped it off. But man, it's really good so far, man. I'm enjoying this Quattro.
Most definitely.
Really enjoying it.
I got a pretty smooth. This stick is pretty smooth that I got here also. So I'm with you on that. Also, I picked up on some cedar too that I didn't mention that I noticed as I continued to smoke here too. So, hey man, AJ Fernandez once again. I can't think of a bad AJ Fernandez I've had. You hit it on the head earlier when you complimented them. They're really an underrated brand that
really
that's not
doesn't get talked about.
When I say underrated in terms of how often they're brought up. Not necessarily that amongst other cigar smokers, they don't know that it's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we all feel the same about it. But
I just don't feel like their name's not pushed enough. It's not pushed enough. Not talked about enough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, check this out. Something's been bothering me lately.
What you got?
It's football season.
Yes, sir.
And news has been kicking up with Tom Brady and his whole divorce thing. You know, of course, we know he was supposed to retire, came back out of retirement, said, nah, I still got it in me. I want to keep playing. Comes back, starts playing pretty okay. You know what I'm saying? Not his best season, but every football player has their ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be their prime self and, you know what I'm saying, win all the games that they'll ever win every season. You know You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have ups and downs throughout the season, and season's still pretty relatively young. You still got a whole another half of the season to go.
Yeah, he still got
so you never know how it's still gonna turn out. Still, yeah. But the big thing with him right now is whole divorce thing, and the divorce talks kicked up because he came back to play football. I don't know how you feel about it, but me, it kind of pulled on me in the wrong way. Being a man who, you know what I'm saying, knows what it means to get out there and work. You know what I'm saying, doing wanting to do something that you love, but then being, I guess, held in a bad light because you went to go do what you love. And that's what I'm seeing from my opinion, from my standpoint. I don't know. I wasn't in their house. I don't know how everything played out. But from what it looks like to me, it's like this man decided he wanted to go back and play football. He wasn't done yet. As a man, I'm not done yet. But then his woman, I don't like that. I got to go. Where are we in a society where a man can't get up in his 40s, mid 40s, and say, this is what I'm going to go do to get out of life? And you can't sit back and respect it, albeit because maybe you got millions of dollars and your stature's here. So I don't need this man who's out there busting his butt every week, every Sunday, to make sure I stay in tip-top shape, to sacrifice what I got to sacrifice. And I get it. Sometimes those sacrifices come with a cost, and the spouse, the wife sacrifices too, because the man got to go do what the man got to go do. But where's that respect?
Well, I mean, you know,
from the man being selfish in his moment of him having to feed what he needs to feed as a man.
You know, I mean, look, in fairness to Giselle, man, it was his 38th season. You know, she was down with it for a long time, man. She needed a break, man. You know what I'm saying? She got to go 40? She got to go to full 40 seasons before she can get her man back?
If that's what if that's what it takes to have your man be the man that he needs to be, yeah.
Hey, for those of y'all that's listening and not watching, that's sarcasm, by the way, too, man. I don't. I'm totally on the guy's side in this, but so be it, though.
I thought you were jumping on Giselle's side for a second. Like, hold up, wait, what we doing?
But nah, man, you know. Hey, look. I'm not gonna totally tear her down for that necessarily, because that's typical of women. They feel that way. I don't relate to it, but enough of them feel that way where I have to be understanding that that's their perspective in it, that they want us around. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's where it gets confusing at. When I'm around, there's gonna come a time where you're gonna want me to show some passion and some love for something other than you, because then I become less attractive when I'm just laying around the house and I'm not in Tom Brady shape, and, you know, and I'm not, because I'm just eating donuts and chilling, and I'm not trying to stay in football shape no more. And then you discover, oh, wow, Tom's not good at nothing but football. Like, he can't create a business. He can't do nothing else. I thought he was going to, you know, transition into something else. He's just a fat guy now. Like, and then they were still going to end up at the point of her wanting to leave him one way or the other. Is basically what I'm getting at. Yeah, whether he went and listened to what she said and quit and then became something she didn't find attractive, or if she ran off because she couldn't handle the fact that he was passionate about something other than her. It's always going to lead to the two roads. So I support Tom for if I'm going to lose you, at least I'm going to lose you and still stay sexy because I was attractive about something versus losing you.
Yeah.
And I done fell off trying to keep you. Like, you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense to those that hear that. But that's my stance.
I'm just saying. Like, yeah, I just feel like, you know, as a man, and then thinking about women who are attracted to a particular type of man, or to any man, really, that man has to be passionate. Like you say, has to be passionate about something. You know, that's what attracted you to him in the first place. And if that man is not 100% living his passion, he's gonna lose a little bit of himself, a lot of himself.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna be that man that you thought that you had in the beginning. Like if he's not fulfilling something in him, he's not gonna be that attractive man. Not he's talking about physically attractive, but like mentally or that vibrato, that aura, that thing about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A man has to have that. They have to have that thing that sparks them every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he's not done with that, he's not going to be the man that you think that you want at the house. Right. It's not going to be that.
Yeah, you fell in love with MVP football star Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? And like, so what you think, you going to love him when he's just Tom around the house? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the guy that you fell in love with. Like, and in order to keep a person, I have to keep an element of who you fell in love with in order to keep you in love with me. That's what you found attractive.
Not this shell of who I am, because I'm not fully being I'm not fully fulfilling myself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be what you want.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of women can't see past that.
Yeah, because what happened, look, my grandfather told me a long time ago, man, in order to keep a woman, you gotta be what it was that got her. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, he like everything that's your good makes up your bad also. So the same things you love me for will be the same things you hate me for. If I'm a confident and I'm a leader, you're going to love me for that. But those same traits that make me a confident leader can make me a jerk and a butthole. You know what I'm saying? My good is my bad. You love me for being MVP Tom Brady, but you hate me for being MVP Tom Brady and not letting it go. But if I do let it go, I'm not sexy to you anymore, because that's the thing that it took to get you. Yeah. You didn't fall in love with me working at the warehouse. You know what I'm saying? You didn't fall in love with me being jobless, you know, or careerless. You fell in love with me while I was at a high level. She was a model. Yeah. He was the darling of the league at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm going to give that up now and
If you're not done, you're not done. You know what I'm saying? Kobe got to the point of where he was done. He retired. You know what I'm saying? He was one of those extremes. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, he's not done. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those extremes. You know, where, you know what I'm saying, that wife, Savannah, she has to sacrifice, you know, for what that man needs. You know, what he needs in that moment. He needs to be in the league playing. You know what I'm saying? He has his goal of playing with Bronny at some point. So guess what? He still got to fire that Barnes on him until he's to that point to where he says, you know what? I'm good here. He's not going to be that complete man that you want him to be, because you want him to retire right now, because you want him to be done right now. That's not the way it works. Yeah. Not for manhood.
And what you said about Bron and his wife, I believe her name's Savannah, fantastic example. Without a doubt, women like Savannah, not so much Giselle, because she had a career, you know what I'm saying? But women, and not to insult Savannah by saying she ain't got a career, but women like a Savannah.
We get what you're saying. We get
you get what I'm saying. The women like Savannah, they made a sacrifice. Any woman that isn't in the shadow of her man, that is this superstar, and she's not quite a superstar to the stature of him, they're making a sacrifice. I understand it. I get it. And at a point, you want to feel like, okay, I made the sacrifice. Now let's come live our lives together. I understand that also, but how much of a sacrifice did you make? Like, there's a balance in everything. We all make sacrifices. LeBron is making a sacrifice to be LeBron. He sacrificed his family just as much as you sacrifice having him. You know what I'm saying? But look what do the blessings and the outweigh the downside to your sacrifice. And if you're able to live a beautiful life that you're happy with, outside of the fact you wish you got to spend a little more time with them, then you should probably just be like, all right, it's all worth it in the end. Because I got news for you. In this world of being an athlete, you got a whole lot more time not being an athlete than you do being an athlete. Now, Tom and LeBron are special scenarios, but even then, when it's over, they're going to have, if they live a full life, they're going to have a lot more time not being
there. His 50s, 60s, 70s, possibly 80s, maybe 90s, you know what I'm saying, of living, not being an athlete anymore. So
Right.
let that man fulfill that desire until that flame burns out all the way until he ain't got it no more. Then he has to go do something else. But if he still got that fire and he's still able to do it, you gotta let that man do it. You gotta let that man do it.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Because I know like LeBron does a lot outside of basketball, but let's talk about the typical athlete. The typical athlete ain't gonna have a LeBron James career, and when the money stops, it's done. It's done. You better let them get it all while they can. And don't get me wrong, I guess for Giselle, it ain't about the money. I hear she's got a lot of money. She's done very well for herself, but you know, even with that being said,
I mean, for me,
you just never know. You know.
It's not the money, and that's why to me it's the perfect example for the situation. It's not about the money. It's not about the lifestyle, because if you start playing today, your lifestyle is going to continue. I believe that their money is going to be good for a very long time.
All right.
So that's why it's a perfect example for me to say, no, it's more so about that man's desire to fulfill what he needs to fulfill as a man, to be what he needs to be for you as a husband, as a father in that home. We got to feed something in us to fully be what you want us to be. And she's not gonna realize it until he's not that anymore. And like you said, you wake him off the couch, like, dude, what is wrong with you? Who are you?
Who are you?
where's you know what I'm saying? Where's Tom?
Yeah,
where's Tommy Terrific? you ain't the same guy anymore. Like, because
Thomas, look at your gut, Thomas. Your gut is huge, Thomas. Get off the couch.
And not even that. Like say he stayed in shape and just worked out like crazy. Like, look at what's his name? T.O. T.O.'s in tremendous shape, but he still wants to play in the league. He still wants to play football. His passion is still there, right?
Right.
So it's not even about money or being in shape. It's about fulfilling what you need to fulfill to be you. Like, I remember when I stopped doing music for so many years, I wasn't me. You know, I had to get back into doing martial arts. I had to get back into working out. I had to get back into music. And then I started rebuilding who I needed to be for myself. You know, got to get to my cigars. When I don't have my cigars, we don't do this podcast. I'm not the same on Saturdays when we don't do the podcast than I am when we do the podcast.
Right.
My Saturday just goes a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you fulfill a passion of yours, right?
Right.
So it's like you got to stay in doing those things until you feel like you're ready to move on to something else that fills your passion to be that man that you need to be. And same for women. Same for women. You got to do what you got to do. You got to have an element of yourself to be you.
Right, without a doubt. You know, you hit it on the head when you speak on the passion element, you know what I'm saying? Because that passion element is, like you say, part of you, what makes you satisfied, what makes you feel fulfilled. And when you feel fulfilled, you feel happy within. And once you're happy within, you can be happy outwardly. And that's important. Like
you're gonna hate me if I'm not fulfilling my passion. You know what I mean? You're gonna hate me more. You're gonna hate me more for not doing my passion, then you're gonna hate me for taking time away from you to go fulfill my passion.
Yeah.
Which one?
Honestly, you're gonna hate grouchy me around the house. I'm grouchy around the house because I'm not doing what I want to do. You're looking at me like, oh, why you sad? What's wrong? Why you down? Nothing. But it's really something bothering me, but I just don't want to talk to you about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna understand. So it's gonna lead to issues in the house, if not. But like you say, it's the same for a woman who feels like something's missing. You know what I'm saying? But they won't. Their voids tend to be different voids from ours. So they'll fight their battles for their voids, and our voids might be business, sports, cigar time. You know what I'm saying? Their void might be, hey, it's you. I want to go out to a movie with you. I want to go out to dinner with you. You know, or whatever. You know, or if you're a new school woman who's totally different from that. Who knows what your boys are? You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about traditional women, but but
gotta be careful with that. Gotta be careful with that cancel culture.
Yeah,
can't say tradition.
Hey man, whatever word we using today, you know, I know language is important nowadays. You got to be careful how you say it, but I think that in reality, we're both men or women. We're both dealing with trying to make sure our voids are filled. You know, it's just our voids are different. And so we have to really be considerate of what each other's voids are in order to keep each other happy. So, of course, yeah, Tom's got to find some balance to keep his woman happy. And it might be tough, but she's got to also understand it's only a few weeks out the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only a few weeks. If he don't make it to the playoffs, it's even less weeks.
You done in January. You done at the top of the year. Now y'all can go off to the Maldives or something and just chill out. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Trust me.
We got
There's plenty of people. I'll be in the military till I'm 50. Guess what? I guarantee there's gonna be a lot of weeks and days and months and weekends, and I'm not gonna be at home. I'm not gonna be around the house. So guess what? For my career, you're gonna have to learn to do without me from time to time. It is what it is. You know, until I feel like I'm done with the military and I ain't gotta go live that lifestyle no more.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the other thing with a guy like in football specifically, it's the season isn't filled with as much traveling as like a basketball player would deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even a baseball player. Baseball got like 200 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's totally different. Like
8 weeks out the year away from home.
Yes, and during the eight weeks that I'm at home, I'm there. Like, yes, I might need to rest and relax, and I can't be on the go with you. You know, I need to make sure I'm getting my massages and getting my body taken care of and stuff. But I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Just because I can't be on the go with you don't mean that I'm not available to you. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'm in the back studying plays or studying film. I'm around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's also something I had to learn to remember myself, that being around to them means nothing. They care about the actual quality of time together, not the quantity of time together, which is something men don't
They just want you around.
They don't just want you around. They want you interacting while around. That's the
right. You know what I mean.
The homies want you around, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, me and you can be kicking it together on the couch and watching TV and not say a word to each other. Get up and I go my way, you go your way, and we be like, man, I was just kicking it with D, and we had a good time. We didn't say but 3 words to each other. You know what I'm saying?
You can be on the couch with your lady, and we don't spend no time together. We spending time now. What are you talking about? That's not what I mean.
Exactly.
We here. You right there. I'm right here. This ain't.
Yeah, I had to ask my woman, if I don't spend time with you, then who do I spend time with? You the only face I'm looking at all the time. Like, then who am I spending time with? That's not what they mean. But they don't always know how to express that's not what they mean. So, you know.
Facts. All right, man. But that's my rant. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get there because I've been there before. And that just, it grind my gears just to hear that and say, man, let this man go be a man. Do what he needs to do. Not for the money, not for the accolades, because he got it already. To me, from my standpoint from him, that's why I say it's a perfect example, because he's doing it because he needs to fulfill something in him as a man. Right. But that's my rant. Off my soapbox.
And before you get off that soapbox, I guarantee he wouldn't do the reverse to her and tell her, quit what you love. Don't do that. Come be at home more. He wouldn't tell her that. We don't do that. We do not do that. We be happy for y'all to find something to do. We be happy for you to find something to do. Thank God she found something to do. Now I can go do what I want to do. Like, so,
they don't look at it that way. It's not the same in reverse.
No, it'll never be the same. You know what I'm saying? Not if you got a traditional man. Can I say that?
Maybe since you're talking about since you're talking about the man, maybe you can say traditional. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble.
You know,
I ain't trying to be in the doghouse.
Yeah. When I say traditional man, I just mean, it's not just sexuality I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like dudes that have old school values. You know what I'm saying? Who like actually
we can do a whole nother hour episode on the tradition.
Yeah. I'm just saying dudes that take pride in actual traditional masculine values, not toxic masculinity, ladies. I'm not talking about that. Just being who, you know, what your father was, the good father, you know what I'm saying, that was in the household holding it down. Yeah.
Not talking about anybody with daddy issues. We're not talking about that.
Not that daddy. No. Because you got to clarify now. You say something positive about daddy, and people think that you. Oh, daddy won't. My daddy won't. No, not you. You didn't have a daddy. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people. More people in the world had a daddy, but they'll make you think that they didn't. You know what I'm saying? That didn't. Less people. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I had a conversation not too long ago. Not to be too long on this, but it was a female, and she was talking about men and how they don't live up to a certain thing. And my standpoint was a little skewed, and I had to apologize for it and I felt that I shouldn't have had to apologize, but I apologized for it because my circle, my family, I have a family of good men. You know what I'm saying? Of men, my friendships, of fathers, husbands, and fathers who did what they got to do. I got more examples of it than I have that don't. You know what I'm saying? Right. I have more good, positive male examples than the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So I can't relate. I disagree with some things that she was saying because I'm like, I see more men from my personal standpoint of my almost 39 years of living. I've seen more men, my immediate circle around me, that have good examples of manhood. Yeah. So I know it's out there. You can't tell me it don't exist. Right. I've seen it more than more personally than I have not seen it.
There you go. That's the key. That's what and I'm gonna get off my soapbox immediately after this one. But that's the problem is we allow what we hear to be predominantly what's put out there more so than what we actually experience in our real life. Like in my personal life, what's personal to me, that's my experience. I see more fathers in their kids' life. I was around more good men who was trying to teach. Even people that weren't my father, I had good male adult figures that was like OGs to me. Like, hey, this what you do. This what you boom, and giving me game and helping me. And they were in their kids' life, and they wanted to help me out and give me game too. Yeah,
like we know it exists, and we know it exists at a gross level. Like it's a large level of how it exists. We know what's out there, but I just had to speak from my standpoint. Like, hey, look, I can't relate. I can't compute that because what I've seen in 39 years of living is not that. So I know it's there.
Yeah, that's what you tell me it's not, but I don't see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm proud of that. I shouldn't feel and I know you apologize to her, but
I shouldn't have
outside of that, you shouldn't have to. Yeah, nobody that grew up with two parents or a good father in their house should ever have to apologize because that's how they came up. You know what I mean? It's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because a few people had some bad apples in their house, and that exists also, that don't make it the majority. That don't make it.
Yeah, you can't speak. I'm not even gonna say majority or minority. I just say you can't speak for the totality. That doesn't make up the whole picture. And it's just for some people, that's the whole picture. And I'm like, that's not the whole picture. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, don't have a skewed perspective on life with that. But man, let's move on from that, man, because I know we're getting to the end here. What is your final assessment of these cigars? Your AJ Fernandez / Age Room,
Aging Room, Quattro Maestro, right? I enjoyed the cigar thoroughly enjoyed the cigar. A little pepper in the beginning, that pepper always makes you nervous when you're getting a lot of pepper off the top. But it's like, okay, where does it go from here? And it went in the right direction, all the way through the smoke. And what I was thinking when I was smoking it, have you ever had a cigar to when you're smoking a cigar and it's a beautiful cigar that you're loving, and you start to see that cigar get smaller and smaller, and you're like, man, it's almost over. And you start hating the fact that, man, I'm about to be done with the cigar. I want to keep smoking it. It makes you sad a little bit. Like, man, my cigar time is really about to come to an end with this cigar. Like, where can I go get another one? That's what the cigar has been for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the cigar. And as I'm smoking it and it's starting to burn down, I'm already thinking about, can I go get another one and continue this smoke? So big nod to AJ Fernandez, Aging Room. Was it Rafael Nadal or whatever? That whole collaboration. I give this cigar. I want to give it a 4.4. I want to give it a 4.4. I love this cigar. I love this cigar. Can it make my top 5, top 3? It's tough to say. I might need another one just to be for sure that I liked it the way I liked it. I don't know if it's coming off the last cigar I had and it's just being so night and day. But man, I'm gonna get this thing a 4.4, man. Good construction, good burn, solid. I didn't have to relight it, but maybe just a little touch up in the beginning to get my burn just right, because you know how my burn is always bad.
Yeah.
But man, it was a beautiful cigar. Loved it.
Most definitely. For me, AJ Fernandez, New World Dorado, the golden from the golden soil with the golden band on it, my golden ticket. It's a good cigar, man. This cigar really did make me feel like Charlie Bucket, man. I feel like I was headed to Willy Wonka's factory after I got this thing, man. It's been, like I said, from the beginning. There was some pepper on the beginning of mine also, but it was not done badly. I picked up on some of the cinnamon from the beginning. I picked up on some of the subtle sweetness. As I went into the second, third, it was a little bit of leather on it. The cinnamon still stayed in there. I noticed some cedar I began to pick up on this. Then as I've progressed into this second, third, a little bit of the pepper did come back to it, but it remained just as smooth throughout. I had some nuttiness that I picked up on like the as I got into the second, third a little bit also, and it kept the smoothness and it kept that little subtle sweetness to it also. Some of that leather went away, went to the side after I began to move into the second, third also. But overall, this has been a very enjoyable cigar for me. It paired very well with my spiced rum coffee cocktail that I made here. I enjoy my cigar a lot also, so I'm going to give it a 4.3.
Ooh, okay. We got some 4s in the house today.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Hey, AJ Fernandez, man, shout out to you, man. And we'll have to do more of your sticks on the show, man. I ain't mad at it, man. It's been a great burn. Everything's been good, picking up on good aromas. It's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good day on the show.
Good day. Yes, sir. All right. Well, there you have it.
That was the Kwame Brown Detroit Pistons episode right there. We appreciate all of you who tuned in to this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We'll get with you next week. Cigars up. Yes, sir.